Wanted to make a quick video just talking about certain points that I've seen brought up in the manosphere. As I've said, this channel is done with pointless bickering, but I will dissect points that I believe are incorrect by whoever makes them. I wanted to talk about these ideas being put forth that are saying that, marriage is okay if you pick the right woman. I want to discuss this a bit further. One of the things that I've noticed that people are saying is that they're nitpicking over whether or not divorce is actually 50%, whether or not it's as high as that. And I think this is dishonest, and I think this is an attempt to get men really, as I've said in a previous video, to go back on the plantation and maybe, marriage is okay if we just pick the right girl and, the figures are overinflated and yada, yada. The first point that I want to make is that bottom line, we could make the divorce rate zero. We could make 0% of marriages end in divorce. And even still, I wouldn't get married, and I'll tell you why. This is what I mean when I say that marriage is a criminal contract. What I mean when I say that it is a criminal contract means that any businessman looking at the marriage contract will pretty much immediately come to the conclusion that this is an unfair criminal contract in which one party can breach the contract. And essentially, any businessman worth his salt will take one look at the terms in the marriage contract and laugh and walk away laughing. He'd say you'd have to be a moron to sign up to this contract. And when we're looking at it selfishly, as we should, because this is a contract that involves our wealth, our health, our well-being, our children even, when you look at it selfishly, you will understand that the marriage contract itself, as it is in the West, is a 100% scam. It should be rejected just on principle that the woman that you're marrying can breach the contract in such a disgustingly flagrant manner. It is unacceptable, point blank, period. So I could show you that the marriage rate is 0% and you should still reject the marriage contract because it is absolutely 100% a criminal contract. The terms of the contract are such that you can be screwed and that you can be compelled forcibly by the state to pay a woman's bills that you're not even married to anymore if she decides to divorce. These terms are so disgusting and odious that you should refuse it based on that principle alone. So we can nitpick whether or not the marriage rate is at 40% or at 45% or at 50% or at 55% or even at 60%. We can nitpick that all we want. But bottom line, when you look at the terms of the contract, you'd have to be a fool to sign up to it, especially when you're risking everything that will allow you to progress in life. And it just goes to show how dishonest some of these people are putting forth these ideas. They have no interest in the well-being of men. They understand fully that some of these people taking this risk in divorce are going to end getting divorced and possibly killing themselves. We all know divorce is one of the major contributing factors to male suicide. We all know this. So these people doling out this advice, knowing that it's going to end badly and let's face it, a lot of the men that decide to take that risk, they have no interest in helping men. Another reason this argument is dishonest, it's saying, oh, the marriage is only 45%. And if you just pick the right woman, and if you just screen out the right woman, you'll be straight. Not only is the marriage somewhere near 50%, depending on what studies you cite, I could show you a study that's saying it's over 55%. And I could put that as the end all be all of what the marriage rate is at today. But another reason this is dishonest is because in this contract, which I've just described as being criminal by the fact that a woman can breach it and the obligations will be on you to provide for her henceforth, another reason that it's dishonest is because these terms will make it such that, by definition, there will be men in a cheaper-to-keeper marriage. You see, the divorce rate as it is today and the risks of going through a divorce are such that, by definition, there will be men that will assess their situation, financially speaking, and assess their situation in terms of how they're relating to their kids and custody of the children. There will be men that will assess that and say, you know what, I really want a divorce, but I'm not going to be able to afford it financially and I don't want to lose my kids. So there will be, by definition, men that are essentially trapped in marriage. So it's not just that the divorce rate is at 50% or 40% or what have you. It's that there's also a portion within the 50% of marriages that don't divorce, that consist of unhappy men that are backed into a corner financially speaking, and know that the woman has the leverage she needs to, if she pleases, destroy a man financially. So in within that 50% that don't divorce, I mean, these people are making it out to be some utopian white picket fence existence for the men in these divorces or in these marriages that don't end in divorce. No, there are plenty of men that understand that they're going to get ass raped in a divorce court. Bottom line. And so I think it's very dishonest. I think it's absolutely, based on principle alone, absolutely imperative that men reject marriage 100%. And that's all I want to talk about for now. Thanks for listening.